Good morning. Happy Saturday, or happy meal prep day, as I'm going to call it today. I decided to do my meal prep today instead of Sunday because tomorrow I want to dedicate to doing laundry, straightening up before I hit the work week because I'll be working, but you guys know that I am always looking for ways to save money. I know it's a little dark in here, sorry. I'm always looking for ways to save money, and one of my biggest, I guess, drains to finances is groceries or food or whatever. So I'm really getting into meal prepping, and so today I'm going to meal prep some chicken, like chicken for the week. And so actually today I'm going to make this recipe called the best baked chicken and rice ever. And it's not my recipe. And the reason why I'm using the recipe, because I bake chicken, of course, but my go-to is like seasoned salt, black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. That's usually what I do. That's just basic, chicken seasoning, put it in the oven, bake it. But I wanted to kind of deepen flavors, enhance flavors, because guys, said I'm fasting, and so I'll just eat the one meal a day, which is dinner. And so I feel like if I'm going to have one meal, then it's gonna hit. And so I decided to use this recipe. I saw it a year ago and saved it a year ago, but I hadn't made it yet. And so the videos on YouTube, his name is, I think it's called Ray Max Kitchen and Grill, and I will put his video in the description so that you can see it for yourself, see him make it in real time, or not real, you know what I mean. He recorded it, but he's making it. So this is his recipe, or his I guess concoction of ingredients and seasoning and flavors. It's not mine. So I'm going to turn you guys around to show you what is going into the chicken seasoning so that you can see. But again, you can reference his video in the description. And let's get to it. Okay, so first I have chicken thighs. It is chicken thighs. That's like my preferred. I like the thighs and the wings. That's my favorite parts of the chicken. So his recipe calls for chicken thighs. I think it's the most flavorful part. And these I got from Aldi, and they were $8.08, and I believe there's 6 in here. His recipe calls for 7, but it's okay to use 6. And I do have a second package of chicken thighs in the fridge, and I think the second package I'm going to make smothered chicken, and that is going to be another recipe I use on YouTube. It's not the same person, but I'll, again, when I make that, I'll put it in the description, hopefully, if I remember. All right, so here are the ingredients that is going to season the chicken. It's going to start with some olive oil here. This is supposed to be Knorr's chicken seasoning or chicken flavoring, but when I went to the store, they didn't have any. I went to Jewel because Aldi and Jewel were right next to each other on my way home from work, and so I thought Jewel wouldn't fail me, but they did. They didn't have Knorr's chicken flavoring, but I believe what Knorr's is like chicken bouillon flavoring or seasoning, just not in cube form. So that's what I got. This is a powder here. And then I got black pepper, garlic powder, of course, that's a staple. Oregano leaves. I have never used that before to season my chicken. Thyme, onion powder, and then seasoning salt. It's not Lawry's, but it'll do. I got it from, I don't remember. I probably got it from Aldi. And then Lawry's seasoned pepper. I've never used this before, so that'll be an exciting flavor addition. And then parsley flakes, which I bought. Of course, I have some in the cabinet because I just assumed I didn't have any. But of course I do. And so that is what's going into the chicken. And so it's there's also a rice recipe, but I'll get to what's going into the rice after I put the chicken in the oven. And so my oven is already preheating to 425 degrees. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wash the chicken, get that ready for to be seasoned, to be put in the bowl. And I'm going to mix all the seasonings in my mixing bowl, and then I'm going to put the chicken in, season it all up. And then, you guys, I've never done this before, and y'all probably be like, girl, So growing up, my mom always cooked in a cast iron skillet, but I didn't know it was like a thing, you know. But I do have a cast iron skillet here. It's new and it is pre-seasoned, but I am going to wipe it with like just a really thin coat of like cooking oil. I'm going to do that. And so we're going to like turn the chicken thighs skin side down in this cast iron skillet before putting it in the oven. So I'm going to go ahead and wash the chicken now and then start mixing the seasonings together, and then I'll come back. Okay, I am getting ready to put all the seasonings in my mixing bowl here. And now, FYI, if y'all had a black mama, then you know there's no such thing as measuring. So we just gonna go with it, child. There's no such thing as measuring. And you cook it till it's done. If you know, you know. So anyway, I decided to get into meal prepping primarily because it just saves me time and it saves me money. I know exactly like what I have. I have these containers. I'll show you. I'm about to open some of these things first. Things that are new, like this seasoned pepper. But I got into it because like it saves me time, it saves me space in the refrigerator, especially like basketball season is started. And so for that reason, I did pick up a bunch of boys and girls basketball games. So there will be many days that I will not even be home until late, like maybe like 9 for the boys games, 9:30 for the boys games. I might be home by like 8:30-ish for the girls games. And so I just want to make sure that even when I come home in the evening, because I always pack my lunch in the evening so that in the morning I can just like grab my stuff and go. So things that I do in the evening, I set up my coffee so that when I wake up in the morning, I just press like the button. I don't have the coffee machine that you can like set the time for, but I'm okay with that. Like, because if I decide to get up at a different time, especially on the weekend, I'm not going to set a time and then be like, oh. I wish I did have the one that automatically cuts off, though. I don't have that, but that's okay. So it saves me. So I prepare that in the evening. I prepare my water in the evening. I fill this with ice and water and put it in the fridge next to my lunch. And then I pack my lunch the night before and put it in my lunch bag, and that goes into the fridge so that in the morning, like even if I'm running late, I don't have to worry about lunch. I can just grab and then go. And so that way I'm not like buying lunch at work. And so, all right, here we go, y'all. So olive oil. I'm just gonna pour that in there. Just enough to what you think you're gonna coat the, what you're gonna coat everything with. Does he say seasoning salt? Let me see, because he got a lot of, yeah, no. Nope, he does not have seasoning salt, y'all. Yeah, I was about to over-season this chicken or make it too salty because the bouillon is what adds the salt. So he was free pouring. I'm going to use a spoon, child. I'm going to use a spoon. So I put the bouillon in. I put olive oil in. Now I'm doing the seasoned pepper, which also has like salt and everything. Sugar. It has lots of things. What did it say? This say, I was reading yesterday, it say spices, including black pepper and paprika, red bell pepper, and sugar. So, yeah, spices. I don't know if it's salty. I didn't taste it. And then some parsley flakes. And he was just doing like a generous amount. He was really doing generous amounts of things. And he also had an extra chicken thigh than I have. I just have the 6. Let me see. Garlic powder. You can never have too much garlic powder. Onion powder. Thyme. and black pepper. For me, I can never have too much black pepper either. I really like black pepper. So he used his hands. I'm gonna use a spoon. I'm gonna use a spoon. Ooh, maybe I could use a little more olive oil. And then what he did was he just put the chicken in, got it all seasoned. This is what it looks like. So I am going to use my hands, my covered hands, to put the, my gloved hands to put the chicken in here, swash it around. Let me just make sure I didn't forget anything. Black pepper, onion powder, thyme, garlic powder, oregano leaves, parsley flakes, seasoned pepper, and chicken bouillon. Yep. Hopefully it's not too salty. Okay, I am going to put a couple of chicken thighs in here at a time. Just get them really nice and seasoned. You guys, I hope I didn't over season, because Joy can do that type of thing. Joy can do that. All right. They're looking nice and coated. Now, when I see people cook, I see them use those black gloves, and I don't know if that's for cooking specifically, but I just decided it's just best to cover my hands. Anyway, I think my little brother, I remember him, I think he got, what do you call it, like salmonella poisoning. And I don't remember, I think he wasn't covering his hands, I'm not sure. But yeah, he had to get that taken care of real quick. But I don't even think he cooked chicken no more, y'all. I don't even think he cooked it anymore. I think he just is like, lesson learned, let's move on to beef. I think he just like, yeah, he like, I'm gonna head on out with that. So it looks good, you guys. It looks super delicious. I'll show you what it looks like so far. And all of my chicken thighs are being seasoned like this. All right, and then he says specifically put them skin side down. I think I've always done that, but I've always, like, I never like had like a certain temperature or time or anything for my chicken thighs. I was just baking it until I thought they were done. But he specifically said 425 degrees, which I think I've always done 400 degrees or something. And of course I had to cook them longer, but 425 degrees for 45 minutes. So let's go ahead. We're gonna put the chicken in the skillet. And these should last me, this should make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 meals for sure. All right. I'm just cleaning up a little bit. So let me show you the chicken before I go ahead and put it in the oven. So this is what it looks like in the skillet. All right, so now they're going in, and I'm going to set my timer for 45 minutes. But meanwhile, while the chicken is in the oven, we're going to go ahead and prepare the rice so that, because he said put it in the oven with the chicken in a separate pan. So. All right, the chicken is in, so let's go over here and start preparing our rice. All right, guys, so In this dish, I have 2 cups of rice, 1.5 cup of hot chicken broth, and 1.5 cup of water. And then there is, in the recipe that he posted, it says 2 tablespoons of butter, but in the video he says 3 tablespoons, so I use 3. And then, what else does he say? Some olive oil, so let's pour that in there a little bit. He didn't say how much, y'all. We just going with it. And then some Knorr's chicken seasoning. So I'm just gonna take this, put it in here. And that's one thing I never really did, was like flavor the rice, like while it was baking like this before, like again, other than like salt and pepper. And then some black pepper, which I have here. This is just regular black pepper. And then some paprika. I have smoked paprika here. Again, these are like all the ingredients I'm using. And the rice I use is just jasmine rice, just because that's what I had. Normally I would just use regular, just some regular long grain rice, white rice, but I didn't have that. And then 2 tablespoons butter, 2 cups of white rice. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, the garlic, y'all. The garlic gotta put in, and then this is like 1 small onion, and he says chives. Is that for this? I think the chives are for the mushrooms. Let me see. Small onion and garlic. So let me go ahead and put the onion and garlic in here. You guys can you look while I do that? Here, let's do that. The chives are for the mushrooms, so we'll put these aside. And then garlic, he said 3 tablespoons or something like that. I'm just gonna just put some garlic in here. That's all I'm doing, just put some garlic in. All right. All right, now I'm going to stir all this together before I put it in the oven. And he's like, just put it right on in the oven with the chicken. And I can hear the chicken like sizzling. I can hear it sizzling. It smells super good. All right. All right, so that's gonna go in the oven. Okay, so the chicken is in the oven, and I didn't have enough room on one shelf to put both, so I put the rice down here after I covered it and put a pan under it so it like doesn't burn on the bottom. So we'll see how that turn out, y'all. Okay, guys. So next I need to cook the mushrooms, and I don't need to do it right now because we don't put the mushrooms in until the rice comes out. So I'm gonna wait a little bit, like wait about 20 minutes or so, let the chicken cook, let the rice cook. So after 45 minutes, I'll take the chicken out, turn it over, and then cook it, like put it back in the oven just until like it browns more. And then I put the mushrooms, mix it in with the rice. So hopefully I don't overcook the rice. I have an electric oven, and so I have to kind of watch it, because usually I have to cook it less time than what recipes say. Like last time I baked this cake, it was overbaked. It tastes fine, but it was overbaked. I was supposed to leave it in there for an hour, and I probably should have took it out at like 40 or 45 minutes. I left it in for 50 minutes, and so I just have to check things more often. So I am going to check the chicken a little bit before the 45 mark ends. I think I set the timer for 40 minutes just in case. I don't want to overcook it. And I haven't really had like a tough time with like baking chicken, but I just want to make sure, again, like I said, I never did it in a cast iron skillet before, so I know it'll be good, but We just want to make sure we're not overcooking things. So I'm gonna get the things prepared for the mushrooms, because the mushrooms go into the rice and then the chicken goes on top of that. And so hopefully I'll be able to show you that at the end. So I'm gonna start preparing the mushrooms and putting things away, like cleaning up, so that I can be ready to cook the mushrooms. And then I have, what do you call it? Meal prep trays that I'll show you, and I'll just start like prepping. And also I'm going to use, because I still have greens from last week, I still have macaroni and cheese. The macaroni and cheese that I don't use, I am going to freeze it for later. And that macaroni and cheese recipe that I did last week, I didn't post the recipe, and I don't know that I recommend it also, so I don't think I said where it was from. But like some of the cheese combinations she used, I probably wouldn't use. Like she added mozzarella cheese in there, I probably wouldn't use that. I don't need that. I would add more sharp cheddar and more Philadelphia cream cheese instead of mozzarella. I don't think it made a difference. And I would just use sharp. And she did some mild, she said American, but I couldn't find American cheese, like real American cheese, so I just used mild cheddar. I would just use sharp cheddar, Philadelphia cream cheese, and that's it. Instead of like, she used mozzarella, American cheese, like that's unnecessary. That's unnecessary, and I like the sharpness of the cheddar instead. And I also wouldn't put the egg in, and then I would also make it into a roux instead of just mixing it into macaroni. So those are the changes that I'm going to make in the macaroni and cheese for Thanksgiving. So I'm glad I did try that recipe before I, before I tried to take it to dinner. My mom always going to say it tastes good, but but you guys, last year I offered to make the whole Thanksgiving dinner, and so I was going to make a roast, a turkey, and dressing. Macaroni and cheese, peach cobbler, like everything. I was gonna make everything. And I had found, and the macaroni and cheese was fine because I just used my mom's macaroni and cheese recipe. It was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. But this dressing I was trying to make, I was like, this is not turning out well. It was terrible. It was terrible. It did not, I don't even remember what it was, but I liked like the flavor combination, so I was going to try to do it. And they used like French bread and like all this stuff. My mom was like, "Girl, you don't need, you don't need to do all that." And so I hadn't made the turkey. Like the roast was going to be put in the crock pot the morning of, so I wasn't worried about that. The macaroni and cheese was done. The greens were done. The peach cobbler, I think I was going to bake it in the morning, so that was done. But that night before Thanksgiving, I still hadn't done the turkey, and the dressing turned out terrible. And so I, furthermore, like, well, I don't know, it's, yeah, yep. And so I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I was like, the dressing, and she was like, oh, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. And I had just bought like a turkey breast or something like that. And I cooked that the morning. I was like, Mom, I don't know about this turkey. Now, I don't make turkey because I don't like turkey that much. I mean, I'll eat turkey sandwiches, like sandwich turkey, but I don't like turkey, period. Like at Thanksgiving, that's not my meat of choice. That's why I always make a roast. And so she was like, don't worry about the dressing. Everything will be fine. She was like, just bring the turkey over here. Like, moms, they could just cook it up. Why did my mom like have a whole Thanksgiving dinner? She was like, she wasn't even like depending on me to, she was just like, yeah, don't worry about it. She had a whole thing of dressing. She had turkey. She had all the things. Then she took the turkey I had and cut it up and just doctored it up or whatever. She had made greens. She did everything. I was like, okay, noted. So this year, I'm just going to make my normal things. I'm going to make the roast, the macaroni and cheese, the greens, and the peach cobbler. I'm going to just stay true to who I am. I'm going to just be true. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and clean up and then prepare the mushrooms, or start getting that stuff ready so that I can cook that, and that'll be ready by the time the chicken and the rice comes out. So I'll see y'all in a minute. All right, guys, I just turned over the chicken. And I'm going to let it bake for a few minutes longer, but I'm going to turn it around the other way because you can see these are darker, a little more brown on top. So I'm going to turn it the other way and Let these get a little more brown. And then the rice is also done. Look at this rice. Oh, I got an onion thing in there. Onion skin. But I'm gonna fluff the rice with a fork. I started fluffing it just to make sure it was done. It seems pretty perfect. It seems pretty perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and fluff the rice. And it's not salty, it's not too salty, which I love. There's the chicken, and I'm melting my butter right now because I'm gonna put in my mushrooms and chives, and then put a little seasoned salt, a little garlic, again, and black pepper, and cook that down. And then once that is cooked, then I'm gonna add it to the rice. And then I've already started meal prepping. I put greens in each one of these. So I already started meal prepping, and then I think 3 of them I'll put rice, and then 3 of them I'll put mac and cheese. And then chicken is gonna go on the other side. And that'll be that. So I'll see you. Actually, I can just go ahead and start putting the mushrooms in, y'all. The mushrooms and chives. Wait, how am I gonna do this? Hold on, y'all. Let's see. Let's see if I can set you guys down a little. Yeah, maybe that'll work. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my mushrooms in. And you guys, chives and green onions the same? Cause I don't know. But these were green onions, and I chopped them up. If they're not the same thing, then that's okay. It'll taste good no matter what. So I'm gonna let these mushrooms cook down a little, and then I'll come back. Actually, let me go ahead and put the salt and pepper in. No, I'm gonna let them cook down a little bit and then add the salt and pepper and the garlic. So guys, I think this is going to be a new routine for me on the weekend. I can do it, I guess, on Saturday or Sunday, it just depends on which day I have the most availability. And I was diligent yesterday. Sorry, y'all, my ponytail don't look like I want it, honey. But I was diligent yesterday to go to the grocery store after work. And so I, again, set up my grocery list the way I wanted it. I wrote down all the ingredients I needed because there were some things I had at home. I didn't realize I had parsley flakes at home, but there were some things. I'm gonna fluff this rice while I talk. But there were some things. I know I just touched my hair, y'all. Relax. Like I always like make my groceries for the week, and I feel like this week and maybe next week I might not have to really grocery shop, but I always like make my list and then go on the Aldi site first to see what all I can get from there before I start going somewhere else. And then I looked up the prices at Walmart, but on the way home from work there's not a Walmart. And so I went to Aldi, and then I didn't remember that there was a Jewel right next door, so I did go to Jewel, which I believe is a little more expensive, but I didn't really go over budget. So I didn't go over budget, I don't really think. And then a couple things that Jewel didn't have, which I was very surprised about. I did get my pizza for last night. So the pizza that I would normally get from Jewel, they don't have, because the Burkhotts don't have it. It's called Motor City Pizza Co. And Jewel usually has it. And so they have like different flavors. Like they have like a cheesy bread, and then they have a pepperoni pizza, and then they have a supreme pizza. And so I wanted the supreme pizza, and so at Jewel they only had the cheesy bread. So I was like, fine, I bought what I needed to buy from Jewel, and then I stopped by Meijer, which is also on the way home, and they had the Motor City pizza. and the Supreme. That's what I wanted. And so what's interesting is that I looked it up though on the website to see if they had it in stock before I stopped there. Because I was like, because that was the whole reason I was okay with going to Jewel, because I knew that they were going to have my pizza. And Walmart has it too. I just don't pass a Walmart on my way home. I would have just had to, like, because the Walmart is past my house, so I didn't really want to, like, go past my house, you know. So yep. So anyway, that is the rice. That's everything. And so I'm going to go ahead and keep working on these mushrooms. And then I'll come back when I'm ready to put the mushrooms in the rice and then show you like the completed. All right, guys, here is the finished dish. The baked chicken looks delicious. Everything is flavored really good. The chicken is not salty or anything like that. It tastes really good. So I am excited about this. I put it in the dish just so I could like get a couple pictures, but I'm actually going to put everything into the, what do you call it? The meal prep trays. So I'm going to do that now, and then I can give you guys a look at the meal prep trays in just a second. All right, guys, this is what it looks like so far. I decided to put the rice under the chicken, and then I'm gonna put macaroni and cheese in there. So that's what it looks like so far. And I think I'm gonna take one to my mom, one for my mom and one for my aunt tomorrow when I see them at church. Give them a little surprise soul food lunch. So yeah, but all right, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. I think that y'all get the idea about the meal prep, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the macaroni and cheese in here, and then close these up, put them in the fridge, put aside a couple for my mom, one for my mom and one for my aunt. And then, so yes, it just leaves me with 3, but that's okay because I got a whole nother package of chicken in there. And so I'm gonna do some smothered chicken, and then I'm gonna put rice in there and macaroni and cheese in there. So we'll like really be stocked up real good. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video on how I am utilizing meal prepping to save money and to budget and just to make sure that I'm not overspending. And also it's like forcing me to like explore some different like dinner ideas or whatever. And so yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, the recipe for this baked chicken and rice is in the description from Raymax Kitchen and Grill. So he has lots of things on that channel. I'm sure this isn't the last thing I'm ever going to cook from that channel, so check that out, and I will see you guys tomorrow because it'll be Sunday. And so yep, see you tomorrow.